Okay, let's talk about how to completely transform your conversations at work. I mean, no more rambling, no more confusion ever again. We're going to break down how to start every single interaction with total clarity and purpose. It's all about getting the results you want based on the brilliant ideas in Chris Fenning's book, The First Minute.
You know the feeling, right? Someone just walks up and starts talking, and your brain is just scrambling, trying to figure out, wait, what project is this about? Why does this matter to me? What am I supposed to do with this information? It's more than just frustrating. It's actually incredibly costly.
And just how costly are we talking? Well, a Siemens study found that a company with only 100 people loses, on average, 17 hours a week just clarifying stuff that should have been clear from the start. That's over 880 hours a year. Time that could have been spent on real work just gone.
Yeah, so this isn't just about lost time. The cost of all this confusion has real-world consequences, from totally blowing deadlines to making some really big mistakes. Let's look at a classic example of how this whole thing plays out.
So meet Steve. He's a tester, and he catches his manager, Chris, in the hallway. Now, Steve knows exactly what he wants to talk about, but Chris, he has absolutely no idea. Steve just launches right in, talking about test cases and all these technical problems.
So after a few minutes of all these confusing technical details, Steve finally gets to the point. This right here, this is the one critical piece of information his manager needed to hear from the very beginning.
10 minutes? Can you imagine? A high-stakes, multi-million-dollar project is at risk, and the headline news is buried under this mountain of unstructured details. This isn't just inefficient, it's a huge professional risk, and honestly, it happens every single day in offices everywhere.
So how do we fix this mess? Well, the solution lies in mastering the very beginning of our conversations. And this isn't just about having better chats, it's about building a better career.
Seriously, this skill is directly tied to your professional reputation. The way you communicate completely shapes how people see you and the kinds of opportunities you get. Being clear and to the point isn't some soft skill, it's a career accelerator.
And hey, here's some really good news. If you're sitting there thinking, oh man, I've probably made a bad impression, it is not too late. Research shows it takes just 8 positive interactions to completely reverse a negative one. In a typical work week, you could redefine your reputation as a great communicator in just a couple of weeks.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff, the core technique. The secret to mastering that first minute is a super simple, really powerful method that takes less than 15 seconds. It's called framing.
The whole formula is just this simple. Framing is made of just 3 parts. First, you set the context. Then, you state your intent. And finally, you deliver the key message. That's it. This formula basically prepares your audience to actually hear what you're about to say before you even say it.
So let's just break that down one more time. You name the topic, you explain why you're telling them, and then you get straight to the most important point. Context, intent, key message. Simple as that.
All right, now let's see what each of these things actually looks like in the real world. This is where the theory becomes a practical tool you can start using, like today.
First up, context. Think of this as your "you are here" map. Before you dive into any details, you have to name the project, the report, the issue, whatever it is. You can never assume the other person knows what you're talking about, even if you work with them all day long.
And it's so incredibly simple. It's just a quick little phrase to get your listener on the same page. Hey, I'm calling about the Jefferson account. Or, this is about the new budget. It takes literally 2 seconds, and it gets rid of the #1 source of confusion right off the bat.
Okay, next up is intent. After you've told them what you're talking about, you have to tell them why. Are you asking for help? Do you need them to make a decision? Or is this just an FYI, a heads up? Stating your intent tells their brain how to file away the information that's about to come. Now, if you forget to state your intent, you put your listener on what's called the conversation roller coaster. Remember that story about Emma and Daniel? He tells her this long, winding story about a client with good news and bad news all mixed in. Emma's mind is just racing, trying to figure out if there's a problem she needs to solve, only to find out at the end he just thought it was an interesting story. So frustrating.
I mean, it really is that simple. The Spice Girls had it right. By stating your intent right up front, I need your advice, or this is just a heads up, you save everyone so much time and anxiety. You're telling them exactly what you need from them.
And finally, we have the key message. This is it. This is the single most important thing they need to know. It's the headline, not the whole article. You know, in the military, they call it bluff, bottom line up front. Don't make people wait for the punchline.
As the great Guy Kawasaki says, Being direct is always the most effective way to communicate. Your key message should answer that little question buzzing in your listener's head, so what?
The difference is just, it's dramatic. On the left, you've got this 150-word journey through a whole family drama. And on the right, the framed request that gives you the context, the intent, and the key message immediately. All those other details can come later, if they're even needed at all.
Okay, so putting all this together isn't some complex skill you have to learn. It's really just a simple habit. It's about taking that one extra second to think before you speak or before you start typing.
Just remember this simple mantra for every conversation. I'm calling about Project ABC. That's your context. I need your decision, that's your intent, on whether we should move the deadline. And that's the key message. See, it's really that easy.
I'm telling you, this one technique will fundamentally change the clarity and efficiency of your work. It'll save you time, it'll cut down on mistakes, and it's going to build your professional reputation. So the only question left is, what important conversation are you going to frame first?